Hello and welcome to the Business Made Easy show. I'm your host, Fiona Hall. And today I'm interviewing the fabulous Deb Malone, who's a great friend of mine and an expert in Facebook ads. Now, I'm Fiona Hall and I'm the how-to lady. I like to figure out how to do things the easy way. Because if it's hard, then I must be doing it wrong, and there's some clever person out there who's found the easy way to do things, and I'm going to go out there and find it. Then I'm going to use it in my business and test it and perfect it. And then I'm going to share that information with other people. So each fortnight, I interview a guest expert on an area of business that I know that business owners want to know more about, that they're probably struggling with in their business right now. And they want to know more about it, and they want to find the easy way to do it and not spend hours and hours watching YouTube videos, reading white papers, and getting lost and all those words and phrases and things that we have no idea what they're about. Like me, when I first heard Facebook Pixel, I'm like, what is that, a game? So today I'm going to be interviewing Deb Malone, as I said. Now, if you are not yet a member of the Business Made Easy Facebook community, the tribe, come and join us. I'll make sure the link is posted in the show notes here today. And if you don't know who I am and want to know more about me and how I can help your business, you can visit me at my website, which is kiffin.co.nz. Now, the next part of the show I'm going to get into is my nugget of wisdom. So each show I jump in with my little nugget of wisdom. And this time I want to talk about something that I've noticed with a number of my clients recently. I've taken on a couple of new clients coaching in my Get Sorted program. And the first thing we start working on is personal productivity. Now, one of the big things that causes a huge problem is with the clients and how quickly you respond to them and when you end up responding to them. So I want to talk about you guys thinking about, are you noticing that you're checking those email alerts that are popping up on your phone at 10 o'clock at night when you really should be winding down and hopping into bed? Is that really how you want to work? Maybe not. Maybe it's just started creeping in and all of a sudden you noticed, oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock and I should be in bed by now. I've been there and got that t-shirt, Deb. Yeah, we all have, I think. Yeah. Now, it starts off kind of like, oh, I'll just check that one thing because it's probably small and I can get it done and I don't have to worry about it tomorrow, but. And you justify doing these things. The problem is that we end up becoming burnt out. Now, what will happen is you'll notice some resentment. It will start to bubble up to the surface. And you know what? You're not being present with your family and your friends and your loved ones. There's nothing worse for me. The big wake up smack in the head for me has been my kids going, Mom, can you get off your phone? You're nodding your head about that at the moment. So be really mindful about the hours you do want to work. What do you want to work? Do you want to work 9 till 5? Do you want to work 10 till 2? Do you want to work 10 till 6? For me, that would be my ideal. It doesn't quite work with the kids at the moment, but that for me is when I kind of am most productive. So think about the hours you do want to work. Then you need to communicate that back with your clients. Don't worry if you feel like, oh, I've already started doing that and I'm responding and they're going to expect it from me. There's a lot of fear that can kind of come in that conversation in your head. Don't even have to have it out loud. It goes on in your head, right? So that conversation can be had with your clients, and it can be done respectfully, and it can be done in a way where they still feel valued. So set some boundaries, set some really clear boundaries. Start off with the next new client that comes in. Say, hey, I'm available between this hour and this hour. If you send me an email, expect to hear from me the next day. If you leave me a voice message, I won't always get back to you that day. If it's urgent, send me a text. Give them a way to communicate with you that works for you and they feel cared about still, that you have clear boundaries and everyone's getting their needs met. With those scope creepers who are texting you at 11 at night or Facebook messaging at 11 at night, don't answer. I know. It's like a drug. You have to rip it away from yourself. But start with just do not answer. Pick it up the next morning when you start in the morning, whatever time that may be. And then go put in place things like notes on your signature file for your emails. One of my clients has just put the times for her that she's available for her work days, but also a link to go and book a time to talk with them. So there's a really clear way for them to get their needs met. And then also, obviously, on your voicemail, make sure that you give clear instructions about when they can expect to hear back from you. So therein my nugget of wisdom for the week. I hope that's helpful for some of you. I know I've been in that position. I've been guilty of just letting myself respond and not thinking about, hold on a minute, I shouldn't even be on the internet right now. So think about that for yourself and think about the work that you want to do when you want to do it. You're the boss. You pick it. You make it happen for you. Now.
That was really good.
That's my lesson.
I loved that one about putting the book a time to talk. That's really good. In fact, I've got a auto reply that goes out on my emails saying, hey, you're on my list. I will get back to you. But that's a great idea to
well, just cool. It's that next step so they feel like they're taken care of, and they can also have some certainty about, then I know when I can talk to them, and they can schedule their time. Because what can be frustrating for clients is like, I really want to talk to you, but I need to get this problem sorted, and I can't do that next thing until I've seen you.
Exactly.
So you're kind of juggling a whole bunch of stuff, and they're getting anxious. So if they know, then I'm booked to talk to Deb tomorrow at 10, okay, then I can do that next thing later. So they start to have some room.
Exactly. I like that idea. That's good.
Cool. So this week I have as my guest is Deb Malone, and Deb is a Facebook expert. And I met Deb back. I went back looking to find out when I met you. I think it was 2004. It might have been 2014, or it might have been 2013. When she designed a website for another business of mine that I had.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
It was. It might even have been earlier. I dread to think how fast time's going at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, what I was really impressed about was Deb wasn't just a web designer. She gave me lots of ideas, and she was really, really helpful on a budget for this new business I was trying to launch on a shoestring. She really helped me think about things and what I needed to do, and helped me look at what I needed to do for myself right then, but not just around the website, but also looking at other areas that surrounded the website to make it all gel together. So it was really cool to have that person to talk me through that area when it was quite scary and new, and trying to figure out how to actually sell a product, which I'd never done before online. So Deb started out as a graphic designer and moved into web design before discovering she had a real love for Facebook and Facebook ads, and grow her list and to build up that audience. And she's got a really good following and really good interaction in the groups that she's part of and that she has created. And she also helps you get known as an expert through those Facebook ads to grow your audience. And she's going to go into all the goodness of nailing your Facebook ads today, because that's what she does for her clients. So most of us on Facebook are muddling around, piddling around, trying things out, trying to do it ourselves, and kind of getting stuck.
Wasting money.
And wasting money and going, just put $5 down on that promo. It'll be all right. And then another $10 here and $5, and then you've spent $50 and a couple of...
It all adds up.
What's the results I got from that? I've been there, done that one. So Deb's joining us today from the sunny Hawke's Bay. We're in Auckland, New Zealand, for those listening internationally.
Gorgeous today. It's going to hit 25 down here.
Shush, it's only 14 today here.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Business Made Easy show. Great to have you on. So tell us about, I'd like to actually just find out from you, how you developed this love and direction into Facebook ads.
How did I develop? Well, first of all, thank you for having me on here. Yeah. Always a pleasure to come and have a chat. So how did I develop a love? I guess you could call it my perfectionist side. Maybe it's a little OCD. But when I started out with Facebook, I thought, because everyone was saying, oh, Facebook's great for list building and all that. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to increase my list. I'm going to try it. And I set up some ads and campaigns, and I was like, well, they're coming in at, and I'll never forget this price, of $4.36 per conversion. So that is a name on my list for $4.36. That's just a name on my list. I mean, as we know, we get some really high quality and some low quality names on our list. So when it was that price, I was like, okay, so we're looking at $20 to get, 4 people on my list nearly, 4.5 people on my list. Like, it's not really sustainable for a business, and I didn't want to do that. So my perfectionist side took over, my OCD, and I studied literally everything I could find. I took a course under Murray Smith, and I even, what else did I do? But I just did so much. I soaked in all the info I could find, and in the end, I was, if there was a degree for Facebook ads, I would have it. They took John Loomer's test to see where I'm at, and even that said I'm an advanced status. So it all paid off, basically. So, yeah. And now I'm actually able to get leads consistently for around, always under $1.50. It's never usually over that, unless we're testing new markets. I mean, you always start out with testing, of course, but once we know the market, we've nailed it, we're getting leads for under $1.50 for all my clients.
That's great.
It's pretty exciting.
Cool. So Deb's going to go over her top 3 tips with us for nailing your Facebook ads. We're not going to go, there's quite a lot of detail we can go into, but we just picked the 3 top ones we know that you need to really think about. And the first one Deb's given me is build a warm audience. So Deb, tell us about what is a warm audience? Define it for us, for those people going, huh?
Yeah, so the first thing is that the biggest mistake I see people making is that the first off, straight away, they want to get people's emails. That's the first thing. And to do that to a cold audience, we're getting a little more private with our stuff. We don't always give away. And if we do, it's a fake email these days, I hear, that people will have a, not necessarily fake email, but something that it's not their primary email. They're very wary about giving your primary email out because we don't want our inboxes filled with a whole lot of junk. So we use maybe our Hotmail address or something free that we don't check as often.
Yeah.
So when it comes to marketing with Facebook ads, there's actually 2 types of people. You've got your warm people and your warm audience, and these are people that already have heard of you and that maybe they even know and like you. So maybe they've visited your website, or they're a liker on your page, or they're on your email list, or they've bought from you already. They know you to some degree. And then there's your cold audience, which is people who have never heard of you before. So, you know, then that's usually when people start interest targeting. Right. So you want to focus on putting your building that warm audience. And yes, to build that warm audience, you've got to do interest-based or a lookalike audience with your ads. So you can create ad sets and you can create a lookalike audience. So create a custom audience where people look like your page likers, for example, even though they're a cold audience. But you want to build that, and you do this by sending ads sending them to a cold audience, to maybe blog, something where you're not asking for their email, maybe to a video, or maybe to a blog or an article that you've written, and just build up that traffic on your website or via video views. And so that's how you build your warm audience. And that's the first thing that you want to be spending money on. Even if you're only spending, you know, $2 a day, at least you're still getting people to your website. It doesn't need to be expensive.
Yeah.
By doing that, even just $2 a day, so that's $60 a month, you've just got that constant traffic going to your site. So when you do have a lead magnet to send people, you've then got a bunch of people that have already read something or watched a video of yours, so they're already there, and they're probably, you know, your prime market. It's going to be a lot cheaper to get their email address because they'll see your lead magnet, they'll be like, oh yeah, I know her or him or whoever, and you know, so
more. Like you've already teased them and got their interest, and they've had some value from that first interaction.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, and that first interaction is low barrier. So, you know, it's risk-free for them. You're not asking for the email. You're purely helping them, maybe giving them an aha moment, you know, so they're like, oh, yeah, that's how I do it, you know. It's genuine help. If you can do that, build up your warm audience that way, it's a great way when it comes to list building to remarket back to those people who've been to your website.
Right, cool. So the second thing on the list is to use your Facebook pixel to remarket to your website visitors.
Exactly.
What is a Facebook pixel?
Okay, so your Facebook pixel, it's a fancy way of saying a piece of code. Okay, so it's a piece of code, and I guess you could liken it to a cookie. You know, how you get cookies on websites that track you. So you've got a Facebook pixel, little piece of code that you pop into your website, and that tracks the visitors to your site. So the amazing thing about this is that you can then create an audience in your Power Editor, create an audience of your website visitors, so that if you've got a promo running or a lead magnet or whatever you want to do, like I was saying in that, you know, building your warm audience, you're building up your warm audience, you're tracking them, and then you're able to remarket back to them because you've created an audience from your Facebook pixel. Maybe and the best thing about it is it's not limited to just your full website audience. You can create an audience out of people that have visited one page but not another.
Wow.
So, for example,
I had a key product. So, if I was directing people to my DIY office manual, I could, and they'd come to that page before, I could remarket back to them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I like
exactly. So yeah, and that's such a powerful way of, especially for e-commerce places that are like you selling something specific. If they land on that page, you can remarket back to them. Just a reminder, hey, I saw you, you know, you jumped on this. If you've got any questions, you know, blah, 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 whatever, you know, really personalize the ad. The other thing with, you know, like if you've got a lead magnet, for example, you can create an audience of those that have landed on the sign up page, but not landed on the thank you page. Therefore, they never got it. So you can serve an ad to them again. Just the same way you can, you know, you can exclude your ad. You can create an audience out of people who have already opted in, therefore landed on the thank you page. So you can exclude the ad from showing to them now, because we don't want to serve ads to people that have already signed up.
Because I get annoyed when I do see things where I've already done that.
Yeah, so they've got to exclude the people that are landed on that thank you page. I think it's really savvy to use it the best you can like that. You know, and there's all sorts of audiences you can create using that ability. So you can create e-commerce stores, for example. If you've landed on the order page but not on the order confirmation page, what's that? It's an abandoned cart. So they've gone to order, but they've not followed through. So, you know, upload a bunch of them, or, you know, and your email list, you can upload that. It's just so powerful the way you can actually reach your people on there.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't realise that level of detail. That's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. It's absolutely amazing.
Cool. And then the third tip we're going to look at today was testing. I know testing is one thing that you talk about a lot. And the three things that we need to think about when we're testing are our image, our copy, and our targeting.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So tell us about the image. What do you notice? I know at one stage, if it's still the same, you could only have 20% text on the image. Is it still that way with Facebook?
Yes, you can have, they've taken that exact rule out now, and you can have a little more. However, they've got a guide that if you upload your photo, and it's the same grid tool that there was for checking the amount of text, and they'll tell you whether it's a low, medium, or high amount. If it's high, it won't run. But if it's medium or low, it will, but the reach will be lower. So you're still better to stick within that 20%. Mm-hmm. You know, when you've got a lot of text, people aren't attracted to looking at. I mean, can you imagine what Facebook would be like if we had a ton of text images all over the place? It would look pretty bad. Yeah. So I do think keep text to a minimum, real minimum.
Also, I suppose when it becomes quite small on your screen or on your phone and stuff, it'd get lost anyway, wouldn't it?
Exactly. I mean, and this is the thing with testing. You want to try, like with all my customers, I won't just ever create one image and let it go. It's all about testing a couple of images, because what we think might work doesn't usually. It's usually the one you think, oh, that won't work, but it does. So it's just really is about testing that image. And then when you feel like you've gotten that right, test the copy. Sometimes just changing the headline, even making it shorter, making it tighter. The simplest things make a huge difference.
Yeah.
and I've seen this time and again with clients, campaigns that I run. You know, we ran one and we got nothing on it. I'm like, okay, that image isn't sitting right. Let's make it more, you know, let's try another image. So we tried it and boom, it worked. So, and then once you've got that right, you've also got to try the targeting, because oftentimes I see people aren't using the targeting correctly. They just chuck a bunch of interest in there, hoping that they get results. The problem with that, the audience is way too broad. And when you do start getting results, you don't know which interest that's from.
Oh, I see.
So you really want to try it slowly. And what I mean by that is try one interest and then see how that goes. And if you get no results, try another one then. But let it have time. Take a couple of days between each one. You don't need to spend heaps doing this. A couple of dollars, even $5 a day, you know, per ad set, just to test, you know, what works and what doesn't. And over the period of a couple of weeks, you should start to get a feel for, okay, this interest is expensive. Let's not do this one. Because the biggest mistake I see is people trying to target Marie Forleo and Anthony Robbins and all these big names, and they forget that, or they're not aware that Facebook is actually auction based. So the more competition for that one person or interest, like Anthony Robbins or Marie Forleo, the higher it drives the ad costs. So it's about, I guess, being creative, and again, just testing.
Yeah, definitely. With images, what do you find what works best in terms of images? I'm quite curious to see. Is it do you think if someone's personality, they should have their own image on it, or do you think, you know, what do you see works? I've got a client that I'm working with at the moment, and we started out with her images on there, but then we decided to move it, and it was because her brand is all about attracting your soulmate, and it was her image initially, and it did okay, but then we started moving to images of, you know, happy couples, and you know, that worked better for her. We got her results down to about $1.02 and $1.03 per conversion, which was, you know, great result when they'd started out really high. So it honestly, this is where the testing comes into it, because for your brand it might work, but for some it won't. So it really, it's I wouldn't want to give a, you know, blanket answer to there, because it varies so widely. What about product versus people? Do you think people get images with people on it get a better result from product?
Absolutely. Happy people. Yeah. Happy people.
Happy.
Yeah, even if your product is about, say, depression or something, happy people will still always sell better than, you know, not. And I saw some ad results I saw some comparisons. It was people with their back to the camera and people with their face to the camera. The face to the camera, happy, always outdoes the ones with the back to the camera, or, you know, things like that. So, you know, I always say test, because what I say here may not work for you. If you decide you want a photo of you on your ad and it doesn't work, test something else, you know.
Ugly, Fiona, you need to use that.
Okay, that totally came up. No. Sorry.
I'm just joking, by the way.
I know. Your mic's gone a little bit muffled too.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Is that better?
No, you must have put that. That's better. I can hear.
Oh, good.
I heard something. Move it over it.
Okay, cool. Oh, funny. So yeah, well, that's good to think about with photos. And what about copy? Do you recommend getting getting someone to help you sort out that copy straight off, like because the messaging? If your messaging's off, it's not going to land, is it?
Exactly. Look, I've got a client at the moment, and I can tell you now her messaging is off. Like, it's very broad. People need to realize that you need to weigh in on the benefits. When you talk. And here's the thing, we know our products and services best. But what we have trouble with sometimes is realizing the benefits of them. We know the features, we know what we sell, we know what we do, but you got to really zero in on the benefits, because the first thing people think in their head is, what's in it for me? That's the first thing. And if they can't see the value, and you're not saying, hey, you need this because, you know, it's like, there's several examples I use. It's like people don't want to lose weight. It sounds like work. People want to fit those jeans again, you know? And it's as simple as thinking as that. The feature or what they're going to do is they're going to lose weight. But what they're really buying into is fitting those jeans again. So if we can find that real pure benefit, that real core benefit that people want, the result that people want, the transformation that they're going to walk away with, and we can focus on that and keep it conversational rather than, you know, all salesy. Just be conversational. You know, I think people get carried away with overthinking about it.
Yeah,
you know? And I think sometimes getting a copywriter to just help you pull that out is really, really beneficial, because sometimes we can't see. It's like, for me, for example, I can say I can help you with your, you know, I can help with Facebook ads. That's no good. People are like, okay, great, but I want my Facebook ads to convert for $1. You know, that's a result.
Yeah.
I can't promise that, but do you know what I mean? It's like people don't buy needles of poison in their forehead. You know, they buy wrinkles gone or look younger. You know, they're not actually buying what you're doing to them.
And it's really hard when you're a business owner, because your ego's so tied up in your business. It's really hard to step back and be objective. I've got a copywriter at the moment working through some stuff, and she's just been instrumental in helping. I've been stuck on my homepage for you know how long, and she just came up with some really simple concepts. I was like, oh, wow, yeah. It was really exciting. She demystified the language and just focused, as you said, on the outcomes, what people are going to walk away with.
Yeah, exactly.
The challenge that they're coming with. So,
yeah, and that's something that a lot of business owners really struggle to see. You know, I mean, you can promise someone, you can say, oh, let me help you, you know, all your dreams come true kind of thing. But it's real blanket.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got a customer like that at the moment. So I'm trying to say to her, okay, what's the outcome here? You know, what are you helping people achieve? It turns out she's all about, you know, empowering women. So we've now got to dig into, okay, what's the end result here? So, you know, you can't be blanket like that. You've got to be realistic so that people can say, oh, I need this.
Yeah.
That's what I want to walk away with.
It's the lesson I've been struggling with all year, is don't be afraid to niche.
Yes. When you do, I think, and that's the thing, I think so many try to be everything. And that I was like that. I just a year ago, I was in that, well, probably a bit longer than a year. It was only a year ago that I sort of moved fully Facebook ads only. You know, before that, I was just I was everything. I was sales funnels, I was websites, I was, you know, lead magnets, you know. And whilst I still do that, you've really got to say, okay, this is what I'm good at, and this is what I'm going to focus on.
Yeah, and be known as the person to go to for that.
Yeah, exactly. Very clear messaging. It's very important.
Doesn't it? So much.
Yeah.
Deb, there's one question I always ask towards the end of our interview, and that
I got no warning about this.
I know, it's terrible. But I think you'll be able to nail this one. If you could go back in time and give one piece of advice to your past self when you first started in business.
Only one?
Yeah, just one. What would it be?
Okay. Can I combine it with another?
Oh, I mean.
Okay. No, if you want one, it would be to believe in yourself. Don't cut out what everyone else is saying around you. Forget what people are doing that is similar to you.
Yeah.
focus solely on you and just don't be afraid to niche. No, seriously, that was where I went wrong in the beginning, and I'm talking about back in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just try to be everything to everyone, and then you're like, I mean, look, when I started running Facebook ads for clients, I first got asked, and when I was first asked to run ads for like a full campaign for a client, I said no. I turned it down. I turned down that job, and that was because I didn't believe I could do it. Sure, I got great results for me, but just because I got great results for me didn't mean I could do it for anyone else. And so what I did is I was like, eventually I got the guts to say, okay, I'm going to try it, and I'll just give her a really good deal. So I did that, and I got amazing results, and from there it's just growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, believe in yourself. Believe that you're good at what you do. You just are. And, so many of us, I think, especially women, we're really hard on ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We need to stop that, and we need to stand up and say, you know what, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. I'm not going to get, this every single time, but if you can believe enough in yourself, I think that's really, really important.
I thoroughly agree.
And I think it attributes to any success that you have. I think, believing in yourself and you're not Superwoman, but damn near close.
Thank you so much, Deb, for joining me today on the Business Made Easy show.
You're so welcome. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
For those of you who want to know more about Deb, I'll make sure that in the show notes below, down here, you'll have a link to go and visit Deb at debmalone.me. You can go and have a bit of a look and see if you can go and get some help with your Facebook ads if that's where you're at in your business. And next time on the Business Made Easy show, I'm interviewing Sarah Locklead-McMillan, and we're talking about what to look for in a business mentor. Now, Sarah is a barrel of laughs. I'm sure we might have to put a swear filter on that show. But so join in next time on the Business Made Easy show, and go forth and find easy ways to do things. And I hope wherever you are, you're getting the amount of sun that I am right now. See you again next time. Bye.
See ya.